Alright, YouTube, King Nazru. I just got back from watching Xmen Days of Future Past. A month after practically the whole world has seen it, apparently. I probably would have seen it sooner, but I've been busy with other things. So what X-Men Days of Future Past is basically about is that in the future, as the title describes, is that humanity and mutants are on the brink of destruction. These machines called the Sentinels are targeting the mutants and any humans who have helped mutants or any humans that carry the mutant gene that could reproduce more mutants. And to solve this problem, the X-Men and the Brotherhood have united with each other to to go back in time and prevent all this from ever happening, or they'll be wiped out entirely. And they do this by sending Wolverine back to the past through mental projection, and he tries to stop the events that led to the whole Sentinel crisis, and all the while hoping to change the past for the better in other things as well. So, what did I think about this? It's it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. Um, yeah. Despite what a lot of people are saying, I think it's a bit overrated. And uh, if anyone's gonna ask whether or not I think this is as good as the Amazing Spider-Man 2, no, this Amazing Spider-Man 2 was still better. Uh, Mainly the reason why I feel that this was just a good movie, not a great movie, is because it somewhat relies heavily on the fact that it's retconning the mistakes of the previous films. And uh, if you were to take that away, it's not going to be all that strong. If you were to just see this film on its own, you'll think it's a good film, but you might be confused on how certain things. And it did try to pay attention to like certain events were going to happen, like Stryker meeting Wolverine, which would led to him getting his adamantium skeleton. Uh, let's see what else. I can't think of any things off the top of my head right now because I'm a little raw. But I think its weak points that relies too heavily on the fact that the other movies made mistakes, and this is pretty much just like correcting them. Um, there are some really good qualities, such as the scenes with Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart as Magneto and Professor Xavier, reflecting on the past and saying that they've made a lot of mistakes with each other, and their whole feuds with one another was, in the end, just a big mistake. And if they could have gone back and do it all over again with the knowledge they have, they probably would have probably come with some more common ground and try to make things better. I I also like I also like what they did with Quicksilver. Not so much his character design. I still think that it looks stupid. I did like his personality. How it's like he has this laid back, devil may care attitude. Uh, he he kind of has like the personality of a stoner, minus the whole getting high thing. And I did like how they showed his how he views the world when he's going at super speed. How everything is almost practically frozen in time, and he could just do whatever he wants with it. Like there was one scene where they were rescuing Magneto, and Quicksilver has to use his super speed to stop all the bullets from shooting him. These weren't made of metal, so Magneto needed help, and he does things like divert the bullets in different directions, cause the soldiers to hit themselves and whatnot. I thought that was pretty good. Um, and there was also one thing that I didn't like was how they kind of referenced that Magneto, my, the Magneto Quicksilver relationship, because in the comics in most mediums, uh, Magneto is Quicksilver's father, and they said that, oh, you can move metal. I had a father that could do that once. I mean, really, that's the best you can do. We know he's not going to be his father uh, because Magneto was far too young to be his father. So this was just pretty much like a slap in the face reference. And um, the movie also, like the others, focuses a lot on Wolverine, with the exception of X-Men First Class. And when I first heard that it was going to be focused on Wolverine again, I was a bit annoyed because I know that Bryan Singer has a huge fetish for Hugh Jackman. Even further pointed out, when we first see him go into the past, we see him butt naked, literally. You can see pretty much everything except his crotch. No disrespect to Hugh Jackman, and no, I have nothing against gay people, but Bryan Singer has to put that fetish aside and just focus on the story. Uh, I was also originally, before I saw this movie, I was going to be a little bit peeved that it was Wolverine that was going to go to the past and not Kitty Pryde, like it did in the comic version of Days of Future Past. But it does make sense, since this was supposed to be taking place back in the 60s and 70s, and Kitty Pryde wasn't born then, according to these movies. And plus, they also gave the extra explanation that traveling back decades would kind of damage the mind, so they needed Wolverine's healing factor to count for that. So he was practically the only one who could go. So I'm willing to let that one slide. Hmm. So, and I also did like the relationship with the younger uh, Professor X and Magneto, played by James McAvery and Michael Fassbender. They had how Professor Xavier is still trying to come to terms with what happened in X-Men First Class, him losing his Mystique, who he considers a sister, his friend Magneto betraying him, yeah, and that betrayal leading to him losing his legs, and he has to be forced to take like a serum uh, to uh, walk again, and which is also the same serum that allows bees to look normal. I still That really stretches my suspension of disbelief because it feels like a huge Deus Ex Machina. But now the one thing that really bugged me was when they brought back Jean Grey and Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. Now I know the future was changed thanks to Wolverine's intervention, but I just don't see how that connects with what happened with X-Men 3: The Last Stand, where both of them were killed. They were just trying to stop the Sentinels from killing every mutant and human. I don't. There's just no way that this all falls together. Um, no matter how much I look at it, it just feels like they were doing this for the sake of fan service. And this goes back to my point that this movie won't be as strong without you noticing the mistakes of the others. And if if you don't know about that, this was like your first time seeing the X-Men movies, you're gonna feel like, is this supposed to be something special? Uh, we saw that flashback that he killed the girl, but I'm still kind of confused what happened. How is this related to anything? And if they go back to the movies, they're gonna see that this doesn't really connect. But all in all, I still would recommend it, but I'm not gonna overhype it like everybody else, like giving it a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. All in all, I have to, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this movie like 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Good movie, but uh, moderately overrated. So thank you for sticking for that. And next, I'm going to be giving a review of a movie I watched at home, which is Scary Movie 5. So stay tuned for that.